throughout my career and my life. There's a lot
The
of
WWE Universe is still reeling from the shocking events that unfolded after the Usos suffered one of the most devastating defeats of their careers. For years, Jimmy and Jey Uso have been celebrated as one of the most dominant tag teams in WWE history. They've held championship gold multiple times, carried the division on their backs, and played an instrumental role in the Bloodline's rise to power under the leadership of Roman Reigns. But this recent loss felt different. It wasn't just another match. It was a symbolic collapse, a turning point that raised serious questions about the Usos' future as a team and as individuals. What made the fallout even more dramatic was the unexpected voice that entered the conversation: Jacob Fatu. A member of the legendary Anoa'i wrestling dynasty and a man with a reputation for his unmatched intensity, Fatu finally broke his silence following the defeat. His words, combined with an emotional message from Roman Reigns, have added more tension and intrigue to an already tangled family drama. Jacob Fatu speaks out. For weeks, Jacob Fatu's name has been whispered among fans and insiders as the possible ace in the hole for the Bloodline. Known for his ferocity in the ring and his intimidating presence, Fatu has long been considered a natural fit to stand alongside Roman Reigns. Until now, however, he had remained relatively quiet on the subject of the Bloodline's ongoing struggles and the apparent unraveling of the Usos. But following the shocking defeat, Jacob finally broke his silence. In a backstage interview recorded exclusively for WWE digital platforms, Fatu didn't mince words. He expressed both disappointment and determination, acknowledging the pain of seeing the Usos, his blood, fall so hard. At the same time, he spoke about accountability, suggesting that the family had strayed from its purpose and that it was time to remind the world of the strength that runs in their veins. Family doesn't quit. Family doesn't stay down. We fight harder when the world wants to see us broken. Jimmy, Jey, I see the hurt in your eyes, but don't forget who you are. You're warriors, you're blood. And this family's story is not finished yet. His words carried weight, not just because of his legacy, but because of the timing. In a moment where the Usos' confidence seemed shattered, Fatu's voice felt like both a challenge and a rallying cry. Roman Reigns' emotional message. If Fatu's statement was strong, Roman Reigns' response was downright earth-shaking. For years, Roman has been the cornerstone of the Bloodline, the tribal chief whose dominance defined an era in WWE. But lately, cracks have shown. His absence from week-to-week programming, the growing independence of the Usos, and the rise of new threats in WWE all suggested that Roman's grip on power might be slipping. And yet, when Roman finally addressed the situation, he didn't respond with arrogance or anger. Instead, he delivered one of the most emotional messages of his career. In a pre-recorded segment that aired after the Usos' loss, Roman spoke directly to the WWE Universe, and, more importantly, directly to his family. I've carried this family on my back. I've carried this entire company on my back, but no empire is built without its foundation. Jimmy, Jey, you've been that foundation. Don't let one night erase everything you've done. Don't let defeat define you. Remember, we're not just performers in this ring. We are warriors. We are Bloodline. And our story doesn't end here. The emotion in Roman's voice caught many fans off guard. For a man known for cold dominance and ruthless leadership, this moment showed vulnerability. It was as if Roman was reminding not only his cousins, but also himself, of the power of family. Shockwaves through WWE. The combination of Jacob Fatu's bold statement and Roman Reigns' heartfelt message sent shockwaves through WWE. Fans immediately began speculating about the future. Could this be the beginning of a new chapter where Jacob Fatu officially joins the Bloodline, perhaps stepping in to guide or even replace the Usos? Would Roman's emotional words reignite the fire within Jimmy and Jey, setting the stage for a redemption arc? Or is this the first step toward an even bigger implosion within the family? On social media, hashtags like hashtag Jacob Fatu, hashtag Bloodline Strong, and hashtag Tribal Chief trended worldwide. Clips of Roman's message were shared by fans who admitted they hadn't seen this side of him in years. Meanwhile, insiders suggested that WWE creative may be preparing for Jacob Fatu's full integration into main roster storylines, setting up explosive confrontations in the months ahead. The Usos at a crossroads for Jimmy and Jay, the defeat wasn't just a physical setback, it was psychological. Their entire legacy has been built on dominance, unity, and resilience. To lose in such a decisive fashion was a bitter pill to swallow. But in the wrestling world, moments like this often serve as catalysts for transformation. Do the Usos pick themselves up and fight harder, fueled by Roman's words and Jacob's challenge? Or do they spiral deeper into frustration, resentment, and doubt, potentially turning against the very family they've supported for years? This crossroads is what makes the current storyline so compelling. The Usos are not just another tag team, they are icons of a generation. Their next move could define not only their careers, but also the direction of the Bloodline as a whole. Jacob Fatu's potential role. The elephant in the room remains Jacob Fatu's role moving forward. His silence until now made him a mysterious figure, but his decision to finally speak out could be the spark that ignites a new era for the Bloodline. Fatu represents raw power and unpredictability, qualities that could either stabilize the faction or completely upend its balance. If he stands with Roman and helps rebuild the Bloodline, the group could re-emerge as an unstoppable force. If he decides to challenge Roman's leadership, however, WWE fans could be witnessing the seeds of a new family war. What's next for the Bloodline? WWE has always thrived on long-term storytelling, and the saga of the Bloodline is perhaps the most intricate and emotional storyline in modern wrestling history. With Jacob Fatu breaking his silence and Roman Reigns revealing a vulnerable emotional side, the narrative has reached a pivotal turning point. The coming weeks will determine whether the Usos bounce back stronger than ever, whether Jacob Fatu solidifies his role as either ally or rival, and whether Roman Reigns can maintain his grip on the family he built into an empire. Conclusion. A family tested at its core, this storyline is no longer just about wins and losses, it's about family, loyalty, and legacy. The Usos' crushing defeat has become a catalyst for reflection, accountability, and change. Jacob Fatu's fiery words and Roman Reigns' emotional message have added new dimensions to the drama, turning what could have been a simple setback into one of the most important chapters in Bloodline history. One thing is certain, the world is watching, and whatever the Bloodline does next will shape the future of WWE for years to come.